But to think that it's like 2006 is just absolutely insane. I am like super into witch culture.
It's just tiny. Look. It looks nice with my outfit, but it's just tiny.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is 2026. Can you believe it? Like, that's so insane. I don't know why, but in my head, it's literally still like 2005. Or maybe 2005 is a bit like, I don't know, 2010. But it's so crazy to think that it's 2026. Last year, I think, was the first year in my adult life where I really read more. And that was a really cool experience for me. And I've just definitely rediscovered my love for books. So I'm hoping to definitely keep that up this year. I think we read like maybe 12 books last year, which in comparison to a lot of the other content creators that I watch that read a lot of books, like I'm talking 70 to 90 books. Sorry, by the way, there's a snowplow going by. That's great. But yeah, as I was saying, this year I have a reading goal of about 30 books, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm hoping that some of you watching this are some neurodivergent girlies out there who get that 30 books for someone who is not neurotypical is actually quite a lot. This is actually something I've been wanting to talk about more on my channel because I find that in the booktube community, there is sometimes the expectation that the more books you read, the better. And some of the time, like, I feel so bad in comparison to some of the YouTubers that I watch because I know I just simply can't read at that pace. And if any of you guys out there know, like, I have ADHD, so when I'm reading, sometimes I find myself getting tired really quickly, which is awesome if I'm reading at night and I want to go to bed. But if I want to stay awake and read like 100 to 150 pages, it's not always so great. If any of you guys are watching this and you guys are neurodivergent and you can relate to that, please sound off in the comments below. And also let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing / talking more about. But yeah, so in this vlog, I'm going to be reading Lessons in Chemistry. It's a book that I've already started reading. I think I'm about 25% of the way in. And so far, I'm absolutely loving it. This is actually a book that I picked up last year, but I just never really got around to reading it. I'm definitely very much a mood reader. So I was just kind of waiting for the right moment in time. Also, I found this book was hard for me to get into, just like purely based off of the paperback, reading the physical book. And then once I started listening to like the audiobook and reading it on Kindle, I had a little bit of an easier time with it. So that helped me like get far enough into the book that I was like invested in the characters. So for those of you who don't know, Lessons in Chemistry centers on a female chemist / scientist. It talks about what it was like for women in the 50s and 60s to be scientists, how kind of some of the perils that they face and the difficulties that they may have had. I think it's also a very empowering story because our main character, Elizabeth Zott, is so smart and outspoken. She is definitely trying to break the mold. She is unafraid to do things her way and to push back on people, obviously giving her like sexist attitude and all of that stuff. So I really love that so far. She's a very strong character that is very like easy to relate to. And if any of you guys know, I love female main characters. I just love them. I love when we have strong female main characters who are very opinionated and very smart and like badass. So this book felt very along my alley. But the one complaint that I do have, and I think this is one of my only complaints about this book so far, because it genuinely is like so well written and it's really fun to read, is that we have two main characters, well technically three. So we have Elizabeth and then we have Calvin Evans, who is her love interest. And for a book that centers on a female main character, I did think it was slightly odd for the author to randomly switch to Calvin's POV. And we do spend a lot of like time in his POV, at least as far as I've gotten in the book. So that was like one thing that kind of threw me off. And I was like, I'm reading this book for Elizabeth. I want to hear about Elizabeth. I get that Calvin is like obsessed with her and loves her, But also get out of here, Calvin. Like literally leave. Where's Elizabeth? Bring her back. So 25% of the way into the book, also a pretty major plot twist happens. The story is taking a turn. It is rapidly changing and bad things are happening to Elizabeth. So I'm excited to keep reading today to figure out what happens next and kind of how she's planning on dealing with all of these things. I just thought I would take you guys along with me and we'll just take it from there. Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know why, but this book literally just makes me so emotional. I think it's a mixture of who Elizabeth is as a person, but also her like incredible, undeniable strength and just like the love that her and Calvin have for each other. Is really powerful. I just can't imagine what it would be like to be in her situation, be pregnant, trying to make her way as a scientist, feeling that she doesn't want children, because at every point in the book so far, Elizabeth, she's very independent, she's very smart, she's very career driven. So it would make sense that she doesn't want children, but then her capacity to not only overcome very extreme grief because some pretty awful things happened to her in the book, and then her ability to overcome being let go of by her job and losing basically most of the stuff that's important to her, and her ability to still find strength and like want to do a good job as a chemist and have breakthroughs and continue to work hard. She's just so inspiring and funny, and she just really like warms my heart. And at the same time, the book does such a good job of breaking your heart because Elizabeth is so clearly alone in a lot of the stuff that she does and in a lot of the stuff she faces. So when she does find people that are able to support her, or even just beings that are able to support her, like her dog, 630, the love that they have for one another and the understanding and just like the camaraderie, it makes you emotional because Elizabeth is more than deserving of close relationships and of support. And just as I was reading just then, I was just getting like so emotional. Like, she's one of those characters that are different, unique, sometimes hard to love, but at the same time, you just kind of want to like hug them and tell them everything's going to be okay. And I really hope everything's going to be okay because I think she's amazing. So anyway, just wanted to share some of my thoughts so far. I think I'm currently made a little bit of headway. Hang on. How far am I? We're 35% of the book now. It's funny that we're only 35% in. We're not even 50% in, and I feel so attached to Elizabeth as a character and 630. I'm like so attached to 630. There's a scene just now that I was reading where 630 goes to a cemetery and he's visiting someone, and there's a groundskeeper there who's constantly trying to keep dogs out because he doesn't like dogs there. And I thought something was going to happen at 630, and I was just internally freaking out because he is like the cutest, sweetest, smartest dog ever. And honestly, like if I could have a dog, I would want 630. Everyone calls him ugly. Everyone's like, what a weird dog, but he's so smart and empathetic. And this book so far is doing a really good job at making characters that are so lovable, even though they have all their like quirks and like weird things that they do, even like non-human characters. And I'm only 35% of the way in, and I feel like I know these people. I feel like I know Elizabeth. I feel like I know Calvin. I feel like I know 630, and I feel like they're like my friends. So definitely props to the author for writing a book that is informative, witty, and like funny and heartwarming all at the same time, which is very rare to find, I find. So yeah, I just love 6:30. I hope nothing happens to 6:30 because I will literally cry. Good morning, everyone. So it is a couple days later, and the last time I left you guys, we were still doing some reading, and I have made some progress on lessons in chemistry since. But today I'm definitely feeling a little bit more witchy. So I was thinking that we could integrate some of that into our routine today. So probably not many of you guys know this, but I am like super into witch culture. I think I like dip in and out of it, like depending on, what season of life I'm in. But I definitely love it. And probably not many of you guys know, but I'm a pretty avid tarot user, or at least I used to be. I just think it's like fun to do, and I don't know why, but I've just been in this like super witchy nostalgic mood lately. So if someone is watching who doesn't know anything about witch culture, obviously there's a bunch of lore there and a bunch of different ways that people practice that, but I see it kind of like more as like a spiritual practice, which just kind of makes me feel good about my body and like makes me feel connected to the earth. So I don't take it like super seriously. I just love tarot and oracle cards and all of the herbs associated with taking care of your body. So one thing that I think is really great for someone that's never heard anything about witch culture is many witches or people who practice witchcraft know a lot about herbs and spices and what they do and what they can do for the body. So funnily enough, lately, my mom has been making our morning coffee with cinnamon and clove, and it's just tasted so good. She just sprinkles it right in the coffee, and it's been given this like really like spicy kind of sweet flavor to our coffee, and I've just been vibing with it so hard lately. And something about that has made me really want to pull tarot cards again. So this morning, I just really want to burn some incense. I want to pull some tarot, journal about our thoughts. I also really want to make some progress in lessons of chemistry. And I was thinking that perhaps we could also go and thrift. I've been on Pinterest a lot lately, and I've just been seeing so many pictures of those little tiny VCR TVs that you can like put in your kitchen. And I've been avidly looking on Facebook Marketplace to see if I could find my own little kitchen TV, but they are literally so expensive. I don't know what it is with Facebook Marketplace. When people find stuff that's working, they just hike up the price like crazy. So I was thinking maybe I would give it a shot to try to find my own little kitchen TV. And by the way, I just love that people are decorating their kitchens. I mean, obviously Pinterest is not a reflection of everyone's everyday life. It's very curated, it's very beautiful, but I love the idea of decorating your kitchen because I feel like it's a space that's often like completely overlooked. People just don't enjoy decorating their kitchens, probably because they're like, I want to cook food in here and eat and like that's it. But I just love the idea of that. So there's a lot of like extra counter space in this kitchen, and I was thinking that we definitely have room for a kitchen TV. So if I could find one, that would be so fun, and I would just love to set it up with like some VHS tapes on the top and like maybe some candles on the side. During Christmas time, I was really wanting to like decorate our kitchen, but obviously as it goes, Christmas season was overwhelming. There was a lot going on, but yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could do that. We may do that, we may not. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit tired and low energy today. We're just gonna take it easy and relax and have a really nice time. Otherwise, I literally have not eaten a singular thing yet today. Shocking, I know. I definitely need to eat a little something to fuel myself, and I would love to drink some lemon water with salt, which is something I do in the morning to help me hydrate and boost my immune system. So I'm gonna do that, and then afterwards, we are gonna pull some tarot cards together and journal about our thoughts. So if that's something you guys want to vibe with, I would be so happy if you guys would come along, and let's do it. Okay, so I've placed you guys directly next to our little brick spat. We have done a nice little setup. I have not cleansed the space, which is probably something that you should do when you're pulling tarot. Get some sage out, cleanse the space. But right now, I don't have any sage, and I think we'll be okay. The vibes are pretty good today, but I am burning some dragon's blood. This deck was actually given to me by my mom, I believe on my birthday, because she knows I love tarot cards. I've actually never pulled from it before. So this is gonna be a new experience for all of us. Today I was just called to kind of like pull from this one. So we'll give it a go. It's funny because the shape of the cards, this is a hefty book, my God. The shape of the cards remind me of like oracle cards, but I guess they're tarot cards. These are like brand new cards. I also have my Tarot of Wonderland deck here. I love this deck. It's Alice in Wonderland themed. It's such a beautiful deck. I spent a lot of money on this deck, but it's also one of my favorite decks. And like everything up to like the inside is themed, which is just amazing. Like the artwork is amazing. This like in of itself could literally just be like a book. Like it's gorgeous. But I also just really love the cards. Like, are they not? Like, just the artwork in of itself. Amazing. Like, it's gorgeous. Okay, so I've done it in a little bit not of the traditional way. I just kind of pulled randomly. This is the card that I got for the first deck. So, Justice, a very interesting card. I know vaguely what this one means. And then for the second deck, because these cards were just so big, it was really inconvenient to shuffle, and I feel like they've not been properly shuffled yet, but the more we use this deck, it'll kind of shuffle itself out. But this deck gave me a really beautiful card, Archangel Michael, which any of the archangels are really amazing because they're there to protect you and give you guidance. So that's a really amazing card. And I also got the Akashic Library, which this card is just gorgeous. After I mixed the bigger deck, I just looked at the bottom of the deck and I saw this card and I just thought it was really beautiful and I felt really drawn to it. So I thought, why not just pull it as well? So I'm gonna look into what these cards mean and then just ponder on that. Wait, why are all of my cards literally so cute? This is gonna make me cry. Wow, okay, so I absolutely love this Akashic Library card because it talks about self-awareness, and I guess the Akashic Library has to do with, or the way that I understand it is like the library of your life. So like the scrolls and books here all represent knowledge that you have, things that you know about yourself, things that you feel. And this sage here is sitting in the library very dutifully writing his scroll. And this card really speaks upon like the power of your own brain and the power of your own beliefs, and what you tell yourself really matters. But at the same time, that if you want to find something out, if you want to do something, everything is possible. So I'm just going to reread what it says here. During this phase, all you have to do is add a little conscious effort to write your new records in the Akasha. To start today, write one simple declaration about the future you wish to create and repeat it to yourself often. So I love that. Just the idea of adding conscious effort into your life and into your thoughts, and that by doing that, you're able to write your own future, right? This card really symbolizes, as long as you're being conscious about the things that you're doing and the things that you're pursuing on a daily basis, you have every ability to push your life into the direction that you want it to go in. And I just think that's so beautiful. So I'm really just really happy with the cards that we pulled.
It's a big strawberry.
Can you give me just give me one slice?
Yeah. Give me cream man.
This bacon is so perfect. It's just so thinly cut.
The strawberry tastes like spring.
Order up. Wow, I haven't had a crepe in literally so long.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we have one in, we have one in New Zealand, right?
Wow. Guys, tell the camera what you were saying about the size of the scarf.
It's just tiny. Look. It looks nice with my outfit, but it's just tiny. It's short.
Do you feel protected with this scarf on you? It's so cold, but we decided to come for a walk anyway. But I feel as though I'm passing away a little bit more at every second. And his eyes is just hating life right now because he can't go skating.
They're playing hockey. I'm gonna watch the hockey.
Are they playing actual game?
Yeah, really good. Well, I don't know if it's a game. They're playing.
The ice looks so smooth and pretty.
Because no one's on it.
Looks so perfect and pristine. You're like, I need to get my skating in somehow. I need to get the feeling of gliding on ice. He's gliding 1 foot at a time. Jesus Christ. You okay, babe? If anyone wants to know what it's like to live with his eyes, it's just him putting himself in precarious and painful situations and then being upset about the consequences of his own actions. Where did that come from?
Huh?
Did you see that thing fall from the sky?
Did we?
Aha! I knew it! It's like, it scared the crap out of me as high as.
Hide the evidence.
Babe, stop destroying things in the forest. What were you saying just now about your hands being cold? Did you get that?
Stole from Cora's. You want some?
Spin. Spin.
Spin. Oh no.
I'm losing control.
Oh,
Oh my god. And spin. And spin. The ground feels like cornstarch. It feels so nice. That was pretty good.
I can't meet you. I taught Michael Jackson.
You taught Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
That's where you got it from?
Yeah.
Slay.
Not the Michael Jackson.
Oh, just a Michael named
Yeah.
last name Jackson.
Sorry if that confused you.
You're like, not to brag, but I did teach Michael Jackson. People are like, the Michael Jackson?
Does that look cool?
It looks really cool.
Hope it looks cool.
I'm glad we came. I needed it. I was feeling really tired and sluggish after that breakfast, although it was delicious. But sometimes, after a big breakfast, you just gotta walk it off. So happy. Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly check in because originally I had filmed a bunch of other footage for this video, but I think this video is getting a little bit long. So I figured maybe I would just use the footage that I finished or that I filmed at the tail end of this video in another video. And in the meantime, I've finished lessons in chemistry. So I just figured I would give you guys an update on what I thought about the book as a kind of like send off for this one, and then we'll just pick up in the next one. So basically, I finished the book. I absolutely have mixed feelings about it. When I was reading the book, I was so sure that this book was going to be like a 5-star for me, no questions asked, like love the book, love the characters, everything about it. But I think once I actually finished the book, or actually when I hit the kind of like midway point of the book, I definitely had mixed feelings. I felt like the plot got lost a little bit. Actually, like basically not long after I did my last check-in, like I really truly feel like once Elizabeth starts on her TV show, it feels like the plot gets a little bit wishy-washy and we start to pay attention to so many secondary characters, which is great. You know, the secondary characters are awesome and super nice, and it's really cool like getting to know Elizabeth's daughter and all of these other characters. But I felt like the focus had been taken off Elizabeth so much at that point that the story just kind of became unappealing to me. And honestly, like the ending, like I didn't super love the ending. I know that it's more like a quiet victory in the sense of Elizabeth decides to go out on her own. And she's kind of like, well, screw the money. And like, I care about being a scientist and being a good mom instead. I don't know, something about it just felt incredibly unsatisfying. I felt like any of the wrongs that she experienced definitely did not get righted, and she kind of just had to deal with what had happened to her. So all in all, like, is it realistic? Yes. Was it satisfying? I wanted to give this book a 5 stars. I really, truly did, just because I'm simply so obsessed with so many of the side characters in this book. I love Mads. I love 630. I actually even really like Calvin. I love Harriet, and I actually really like Elizabeth herself. So I'm torn, but in the end, I think I ended up rating this book 4 stars. So I'm gonna like, yeah, I gave it 4 stars just because I felt like the first half of the book was so strong and the latter half was kind of mid for me. But I'm excited to potentially watch the TV show and see how I feel about that, because I've heard from reviews online that the TV show is quite different to the actual book. So perhaps I would like the ending of that better. I don't know. However, I will say anyone who's thinking of reading this book definitely should. The writing in it is absolutely beautiful. And the characters alone really make this book worth reading. Like, I still rated it 4 stars. So read it for the characters. Let me know if you feel the same way about the plot, like that it got a little bit wishy-washy. And if you're really into character-driven fiction books, it's a great book. And could things have been improved? Yeah, for sure. But overall, still a really lovely book. So I'm glad I read it. And so many of the characters are definitely going to stay with me for a long time. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a tad bit long, so that's really why I decided to kind of separate it into 2 different videos. But I hope you guys had fun with us. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm so excited to see you guys in the next one. All right, guys, take care. And with that, my friends, I'll see you in the next one.